LTS, let's talk sports, and welcome back. And of course, it's all about racing today. And here are two gentlemen who know all about racing, but on the sea. That's right. With me is Alfred Bell, and he's the navigator of Total Monster. And Darren Marshall is here with him, and of course, Mr. Solo. Yeah, and he will explain to you his position, because he said it to me earlier on, and I was lost. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, racing. So I think it's a good look to see two competitors next to each other, and you all seem to be calm, you know. So the rivalry hasn't started as yet, right?
It started at the beginning of the year, but we've settled down a little bit, and so now we're able to talk
and be
quite well.
Peaceful.
Yes.
Now, as a navigator, though, tell me what does that entail entirely throughout the entire course?
Well, racing these high-speed boats, the guys who are steering and the guys who are throttling, and Diane will explain to you about throttling shortly, they tend to look at the water that is right in front of them, because that is the part that is going to, if you hit it wrong, will throw you off course or throw you over or do some kind of crazy thing to the attitude of the boat. So they're really focusing at the point right in front of the boat. But of course we know we have to get to Tobago or get to somewhere. So we, as a navigator, we look at the overall picture, and so we kind of direct them a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to the right, or to keep generally on course and keep an overall perspective on where we are in the overall race. And so we make sure that we could stay as direct a line as possible to the finish.
And that's, of course, it would have been a course that would have been drawn out by...
Yes, the Powerboat Association Executive Committee, they set the course, and it's a defined course. There are GPS points along the way. We plot all these GPS points into our GPS plotter, and then we effectively follow the lines along the way. And the guys who are throttling and steering, they make sure that we get there safely.
Nice. Now explain to me, throttle man, what is that?
Well, that's the guy that will control the attitude of the boat and control the speed of the boat. There's a driver, he steers the boat, and that's his sole job, to ensure that we go in the correct direction. My job will be to ensure that the boat runs on an even keel, correct side up, and as fast forward as possible.
Wow. So,
I'm the gas man, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the speed man himself. He's the reason for first, second, or third, right?
Well, it's all a team effort.
Of course.
It's definitely all a team effort.
But
if I don't have communications with my navigator, I could go nowhere fast. Right? And if I don't have good communications with the driver, that's the next story. So it's a total team effort. Just that my job is slightly different to the other positions in the boat. Yeah.
And of course, let me just ask, Total Monster, how long have you been taking part in the Great Race itself?
This will be Monster's fourth time participating. Yes.
And where have you placed throughout the 4 years you've been?
The first year, the boat broke down in just outside the Boca. The second year, we broke down in Storby. And the third year, we managed to finish, and we came in first.
Nice.
So first in our class and first overall.
Right. You said first in your class. So I'm sure a lot of people thought it's just one race. So is there a difference in terms of...
There's quite a bit of a difference. We have 7 classes, and we've grouped them into miles per hour category. Maximum miles per hour categories. We have a 60 miles an hour maximum, we have a 70 miles an hour maximum, and 80, 95, 110, 120, and 130. The intent being that we have such a wide spectrum of types of boats that we can't really all match up all 28-foot boats with 200 horsepower. There's so many different. We have multi-hull boats racing against single-hull boats. We have big boats racing against small boats. So we've grouped them all in classes, and each person then is required to race against the people in his class. So we can't expect the guy in the 60 mile an hour class to be racing against the guy in the 80 mile an hour class, and so on with the 130.
When you say 60 mile an hour, is it that's the max you can go? Or?
That's the max we can go in that class. So what happens is we take a look at the boat, the design, the length, the horsepower that is on the back of the boat, and we come up with a projected maximum speed that boat can make. and we allocate him into the class that is appropriate for him.
Now how does that work though, in terms of, let's say all these boats can only go 60? How do they?
Well, if you have a 28-foot boat and
Right.
you have 200 horsepower in the back of the boat, then you're not going to go much faster than 55, 56,
Right.
57, or whatever the case may be. So we put him into the 60 mile an hour maximum
Right.
class.
So it all depends on the horsepower that you...
It depends on the horsepower, on the length of the boat, on the design of the boat, on whether it has a canopy, and
Right.
that sort of thing.
And what class do you compete in? Total Monster?
Total Monster, Mr. Solo, and another boat called Paramount are in the fastest speed bracketed class that we have, which is in the 130 mile an hour class.
Nice. Now you said, let me just straighten this out. You said last year you came first in your class.
That's correct.
And you were also in the class with Mr. Solo. What?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I was also in the class with Mr. Solo.
We have some serious scores to settle this year.
Because I know you guys have been leading for. I mean, every time you hear who won boat race, Mr. Solo. Mr.
Yes.
Solo won this year. Yeah. So
Yes, we have a good history behind us, but in the last 4 years we were not so successful.
Right.
In 2009, I think, was our last win.
right.
2010, we experienced mechanical problems just as we came around Canning's Point to head out to the Boca. 2011, we broke down right outside the Boca when Monza broke down just ahead of us. And 2012, we finished first in our class.
Right.
But we experienced a mechanical problem just at Maracas, but we limped all the way to Tobago, and we happened to pass Monster where they broke down in Storby.
Oh.
Yes.
So, I mean, people ask, Mr. Solo win the Great Race again? It's not that. Every entrance in the Great Race is capable of winning the Great
Right.
Race.
Right.
Because of the advancement in mechanics and preparation and stuff, the casualties of the Great Race have diminished a certain
Right.
amount. So it's a little more difficult, but every single entrance in the Great Race could win. You know the thing, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So if you don't enter, you
Then
don't
you
have
don't
a chance. All right?
How many titles would you say that Mr. Solo have?
17.
17.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's
That's
the
an
fourth-
awesome reputation. So even though we won last year, I'm sitting on next to a king.
Well, not really.
And you have been with them since?
I have been racing in the top class since 1995.
So you raced in other?
Yes,
other
I
classes
raced in
before?
other classes and prior to that,
Right.
1995, and yeah, so that's it basically.
And it's the same for you? You've been with Total Monster since?
For last
before
year,
that.
the year before that, and the year before that.
Before that.
Yes.
Okay. What happens though? Can you run us through the logistics in terms of preparing for this event itself? What happens? The preparation from the boats all the way to. I know last night you all had a helmet and a safety run. So just run us through.
Well, I will talk to you a little bit about the Powerboat Association's side of things, and
Right.
maybe Darren can talk about the boat preparation side of things. From the association's point of view, there is a phenomenal amount of work that is required to be able to prepare for an event as large as this.
Right.
It's actually now considered a national event. We have to write all sorts of formal letters to the formal
Commission,
authorities
yeah.
to be able to now that we're in this overall category. We have to prepare from a safety perspective.
Right.
There's an aerial support. We have a lot of aircraft up
Right,
there to
yeah.
be able to look out for us in the event we get lost, in the event we have an accident or incident, and from a retrieval point of view. We have to look after it from safety along the course. So we have
Right.
a lot of patrol boats and a lot of marker boats and a lot of people who help out along the way. We have to get people out there to be able to identify the course. So we have to put markers and buoys down
Along
with
the way.
anchors. We also have to arrange for them to be picked up after the race as well. We have to arrange for the prize giving ceremonies. We have to arrange for safety and briefing. We have egress training that we have to prepare for the boats that have canopies. We have management of the registration and management of the launches, and we have management of the
Wow.
membership. So it's actually a phenomenal amount of work that has to be done, and we have the help of a very aggressive group of
Good.
administrators on the Powerboat Association that helps us that. Now, of course, a lot of this is also significantly, we have the significant support of our main sponsor, our title sponsor, which is Carib. Right. Colin Murray and his group of guys there, they do a lot of groundwork when it comes to the promoting of the race. Right. So that's why you see the boat parade is very well advertised, and there's a lot of the boat parade on the media. All the articles that are written about safety and about promoting of the race, Carib help with that as well. Right. We also get a lot of support from the Ministry of Sport. The Ministry of Sport likes to see that we are growing our sport, and we are growing the name of Trinidad and Tobago, right, both abroad and well, internationally and regionally. And so they provide a lot of facilitative support there, especially in the area of safety. Right. So when you consider there's administration, there is safety, there is management of the membership, and there's the training to be able to get people all ready for a race like this, it's quite a significant amount. That's and this is separate and apart from the race team preparation, which is what Darren is going to talk to you about there now.
The race team preparation, that begins at the beginning of the year when our race season starts. We have qualifying events every month to get us going for the great race, and that's where preparation starts, because you have to enter the event, and it takes you throughout the beginning of the year till we reach the grand finale, which is August. All right. Preparation is paramount, and we continuously have to be working at it. We had unfortunately had incidents where we had a situation where we had to rebuild our engines, and we had a bit damage done to the boat, and so we were always playing catch up. So every race you'll find a new bug, and you'll have to get that out. And Total Monster has prepared their boat fully. You'll have to give the guys, they have won every single regatta they took part in for the year, so you have to give them they're just due for that. Their team, very, very hardworking, and a very good team. We have done a lot of work since then. So, and I know all the other teams. We have a team Rush. They are a total local. Right. They have built their own engines. They have done their own work and stuff like that. We have so you have all the different elements coming together with all the different teams. A lot of the different teams, some of the teams, Gulf, they have raced in the States along with, what's up racing in the States? This within the year.
So you have a lot of teams that do international.
Yeah, they have raced in the States prior. So, and they have all sorts of different experiences coming together. So the preparation comes from all ends.
Wow.
All right.
So that's a lot of work there, though. But you said you have a team that definitely makes it happen, from the getting the event together, and of course individually everybody has a strong team to ensure that the boat is good, even the crew.
Yes.
Crew. All right. So, but we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and going to show you some boat in action. Yeah. LTS. Let's take a break.